Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In case, let's say, the West somehow gets rid of Putin and all those evil guys, according to Westerners, or some in the West, not all of them, what are you going to do with the Russian people? Why am I asking that question? Because the Russian people, a big majority, supports Putin. What are I going to do with them? So you might say, well, the opinion polls are rigged or all these things, and because this is Russia, with no evidence, by the way, just because you might be used to that kind of thinking where if it's not American, everything else is bad and those guys must be lying. Only we tell the truth. I met a lot of people like that. You're here with me, so I'm pretty sure you're not, unless you really, really hate me and you want to take notes. Okay, but I don't think it's the case. By this time, those people are gone. Anyway, what are you going to do? Let's say you have 80% of the Russian public agreeing with your job performance, and let's say 70-some% trusting you as the portrayed criminal by these guys here. What are you going to do? How are you going to re-educate these guys? Are you going to do the same thing as they did in Germany after the Second World War? Re-education programs and all those purification methods that they had? They did it before. They will do it again. So let me show you this article from Sputnik. Over 70% of Russians trust Putin, approve of president's job performance poll. This is from yesterday. Yesterday being August 11th, 2023. So it's not like 1999 December, okay? Or 31st of December, whenever he got in power. So anyway, he was appointed by Yeltsin. Separate polls from the Russian Public Opinion Research Center. Oh, it's Russian public opinion. Okay, well, all right. And the Public Opinion Foundation, published on Friday, found that over 70% of Russians trust President Vladimir Putin and approve of his job performance. The FOM poll found that 75% of Russians trust Putin. Now, 75% is a lot. Why compare that with Biden, for example, or any American president in the past, I don't know how many years, while 13% said they did not, and another 12% were undecided. In addition, 77% of respondents said they approved of the president's professional performance. So 77%. Professional performance meaning what? Being the president of Russia, attacking and defending the fatherland. While 10% said they did not, with 13% not sure. Whenever I read this not sure, that reminds me of that beautiful, fantastic movie, Idiocracy. The guy's name is not sure, because of a little situation. The poll was conducted August 4-6 among 1,500 Russian adults via in-person interviews. The margin of error did not exceed 1%. The VCIOM poll indicated that 74% approve of Putin's job performance and 15.5% disapprove. The survey also found that 77.3% of respondents trusted the president, while 18.3% said they did not. Besides, the poll showed that the president was the most popular politician in terms of trust, with a rating of 37.1%. The poll, this is from 7th of July, almost 80% of Russians believe Putin doing a job. I covered that. The poll was carried out among 1,600 Russian adults from May to July via telephone interviews. Results are weekly averages. The margin of error did not exceed 1%. For those who might think, man, the Russians are good at propaganda, or the Russian people are not very, okay, hold your horses. I'm going to give you another example. When I used to be in Romania, in the communist times, the Romanian Communist Party, had its own publications. They did not allow any other publication or radio stations to broadcast. They were, jamming the Voice of America and Free Europe and all those things. You can hear them, listen to them sometime, but mostly you had whatever they told you, 100%. 100%. And they did not believe what these guys were saying. There were some who believed, but most of us did not. At least the people I was surrounding as a child and a teenager around my parents and their friends and all that. They did not believe anything these guys were saying. Why? Because they had eyes to see and they were involved in the society. They had jobs. So they interacted, they saw. So when the communists were telling us that we are the greatest, the most efficient country in the world with the biggest industry and agriculture and all that, you could just open the door, go to the store and find that was not true. Or many other things. You can find gasoline, there was no concrete, the asphalt was full of holes and all that. So no, you knew it was not going well. So the same here. You can't fool all the people all the time. You can fool people, some people, sometime, but not all the people all the time. As what's his name? Abraham Lincoln, I think, said. No, I know. Anyway, so here you have this fact. You either have these guys in Russia being so smart in propaganda, and the public, you must think, that is dumb, that they just fall for it. But somehow here in the United States, no. We are educated because they said so. And how do they say so? 30% of the US adult population has a college degree. Therefore, by definition, you are educated. Okay, that's the way it works. I don't know if you see that little pink book over there on top of everybody over there. That's called Propaganda. It's one of my favorite books. And it's written by a French individual. His name is Jacques Ellul. And I underline, when I read books, I underline right on the side of the book and all that. So I come back later and I get the main points of the book where I think a paragraph was interesting. I underline, I make a little asterisk or whatever. That book is like a continuous line, each and every page. And it is like that because that is a treasure, telling you about how propaganda works. Actually, the most, not I'm going to use some euphemisms, the least capable strata of the population, but on the contrary, of the people who think they're educated, like us, okay? And it's very interesting. I'm just... So let me just I don't have glasses, right? So this is the book, and I spoke about it on many occasions. Now I don't know if you see, but I don't know if you see on the sideline. Well, over there, for instance, on the other side, right here. See over there, a exclamation mark, and it's underlined. This is the book. Jacques Ellul, Propaganda, fantastic book. I will be buried with it in my ass. So here it is, my friends. This opinion polls are made. Obviously, people, according to the polls, are supporting this guy on a big number. What are you going to do with those people? It's true that it's one thing what people say, another thing what people do. The same here. There you can have 77% saying yes, we approve, but when Putin is going to say, okay, go and fight for the fatherland, probably going to have about 50% going, or maybe even less, because that's the way we are. We are afraid of things. We can seem tough, like right now, I can seem tough right here, man, let's do this and let's do this, and probably I'm a weasel. When I go outside, I put my shades on and I'm afraid of the society. But here I'm tough, man, I'm hiding behind this, right? So the same with these guys. Yeah, man, yeah. President Putin, yeah, I would die, blah, 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 blah. And when you're supposed to do it, wrong number, click. Anyway, my friends, what are you going to do with them? A re-education program? Well, we know that we are cowards, okay, in general. We are cowards. When we are put in front of a situation, we usually act differently depending on the gravity of the situation and the risks, obviously. If we are asked the questions like being home and, yeah, man, well, I'm going to do this. Yeah, sure. When you're put in front of it, now that's you. That's us, not you. Us, me too. It's us. Now the power is like this. Have to have courage. Act, even if you're afraid. Now don't be, reckless. Oh, I'm going to do the, knowing that's a lost cause, unless you want to make a point. There were many instances on this, in our history, where you had people that they knew they will lose, like for instance the 300 Spartans and other Greeks that were with them. They were not only the Spartans over there, but nevertheless, they knew they will not get alive, and they did it because of other values that most of us, maybe our values were eroded by these weasels that try to make us bow only to mercantile interest, money, and material interest and gain. And unfortunately, you can't have a strong society that has as the cohesive that keeps you together, money. And no, that's why some people ask, why do they hate us? Why do they attack us? Would they do this? Oh, because they hate our freedoms. Okay. If I say something here, you're going to see how free I am, that you're never going to hear from you for about a week or so. Maybe more, who the hell knows. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.